Welcome to Chris 2A Gear Reviews, and we are getting back to gun stuff, and I have been sitting on the information that I'm about to show you in this video for the past 3 to 4 months. This video will be the most detailed video dealing with zeroing your handgun at 10 yards. In this video, I have a ballistic chart that when I show you this ballistic chart, you may consider zeroing your handgun at 10 yards. But before we get to the ballistic chart, I have to show you that I did my due diligence to give you the best, most accurate information. That's why I said that this is the most intensive, in-depth video on YouTube dealing with the 10-yard zero when it comes to a handgun that has a red dot mounted on it. In this video, it's going to be a lot of screenshots, and we are about to get to the first one right now. Okay, so this is our first screenshot, and I just ask you to bear with me and just stick around. I have to do my due diligence to show you that I'm not just throwing numbers out here. So as you can see, I measured from the middle of the Holosun EPS down to the extractor. I chose the extractor because we can agree that the extractor sits in line with the chamber, which sits in line with the bullet. So that'll be our height over bore. That number is taken into consideration when we go to the ballistic chart. Let's go to our next screenshot. Okay, so the bullet I chose was my preferred EDC loading. Critical duty from Hornady, 135 grain standard pressure. In the ballistic chart, I also included the ballistic coefficient. So when I tell you that I did my due diligence to try to get the most accurate numbers that I could, in the ballistic chart, we got height over bore and ballistic coefficient. Now, this is the only thing that I had to kind of tighten up on, and I had to give a little leeway to: velocity. I chose 1,000 feet per second and 1,050 feet per second. I chose a 50 feet difference because, you know, with 135 grain coming out of a 4-inch barrel, you can get a little leeway. It can be on the low end of 1,000. It could be more on the high end of 1,100. So I chose to do 1,000 to 1,050. With that being said, let's go to our pre-ballistic chart data. So this is our pre-ballistic chart data right here. Okay, so you see where it says bullet name? Even though it says a Gula Full Metal Jacket, 115 grain at the top, then at the bottom it says American Federal Eagle, that is irrelevant. The reason why it's irrelevant is because all the information is correct. Unfortunately, they just didn't have critical duty on this website, so I couldn't put critical duty there. But the name of the bullet is irrelevant, because as you can see, the ballistic coefficient of 0.195 is inputted. We got the velocities inputted. We got the bullet grain inputted. The zero range is 10 yards. Height over bore, 0.67, as I showed you in that video before. We're going to show distance out to 100 yards, and we're going to 5-yard increments. This is the ballistic chart right here for a 10-yard zero on your handgun. And this is the information that you have been wanting to see. Now what I want to do is I want to immediately point you out to the 50-yard line. If you zero your EDC handgun at 10 yards, at 50 yards, you will hit 1 inch low at 50 yards if you zero your EDC handgun at 10 yards. I repeat, if you zero your EDC handgun at 10 yards, at 50 yards, you will hit 1 inch low. At 75 yards, we'll just make that 5 inches low. Shit, even at 100 yards, you'll hit 11 inches low. You can still hold high center mass and drop that round of ammunition in a place where it could potentially stop your threat. So that makes you think, maybe the 10-yard zero could be the best zero to zero your handgun that has a red dot. Maybe. And the reason why I say that is because I tried to zero at 20 yards, and I couldn't get that real tight grouping that I wanted. I tried at 15 yards. It tightened up a little bit more, but not how I wanted it to. So I started thinking, if I zero at 10 yards, what would that bullet do downrange? And as you see, At 50 yards, you're only hitting 1 inch low. That's crazy. So it makes you think maybe that 10-yard zero looks more appealing, more intriguing than maybe some people may want to say. But yeah, all the numbers are correct. I showed you. We did our due diligence to make sure we got good, accurate numbers. And this is impressive with a 10-yard zero. With a 10-yard zero, you can get a good tight zero too. At 10 yards, you can get a good tight zero. So you'll actually be able to hit that 1 inch low at 50 yards if you do your part as a shooter. Something interesting, man. I don't know. You tell me what y'all think in the comments section, man. I think we might got us some with this 10-yard zero. I think we do.